Hey, yo, folks, please stop talking about Sebastian Fundura's height. I know it's hard to avoid the discrepancy, but his height is not going to be a factor versus Keith Thurman. As a matter of fact, his height has truly never been a factor because Sebastian Fundora does not fight tall. He does not fight 6'6". He does not fight like he has the overly natural ability, reach, and things of that nature. Sebastian Fundora always fights small. Sebastian Fundura's strength is to fight on the inside, is to bang. So Sebastian Fundora always fights, for the most part, to the height of his competition. So when I'm hearing, oh man, it's going to be tough for Keith Thurman, it's going to be tough. Erickson Lubin had a lot of success, right? And he still lost, but he had a lot of success. He dropped Fondura. Other fighters had success in making a tough fight for Fondura. The Tim Tszyu fight was not easy. The first fight was not easy. You know what I'm saying? Brian Mendoza, knocked out Fondura. We all know about that. We all know about the vulnerability of Sebastian Fundora. And yes, there is vulnerability with Keith Thurman, of course. The traditional, he doesn't have a body, doesn't have a body. The difference between that is that Keith Thurman, he's elite in surviving and know how to survive. That's what Runtime Thurman came about. He just know how to escape, the storm. You feel me? Or he know how to weather the storm. And that's what I think about Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora is that both of these guys is vulnerable, right? Both of these guys are good in their offensive onslaught, but they vulnerable as well. But the guy that we've seen overcome the vulnerabilities is Keith Thurman. He has survived in several fights. You know what I'm saying? So the confidence there in knowing how to survive and knowing how to judge and how to adjust and getting out of trouble because he does got the footwork that Sebastian Fundora doesn't have is that Keith Thurman will weather any storm that Sebastian Fundora has in place. So I think that people need to quit talking about the height of Sebastian Fundora because Sebastian Fundora does not use his height. So that's not a factor. Look, I think that this fight is great. I think that it meshes well. I think it calls for an entertaining fight. Keith Thurman is always in an entertaining fight, whether it's a knockout, stoppage, or go 12 rounds. The effort is always there by both fighters, so we all know that both of these guys does not cheat the fans out of effort. But I think that people need to quit with this that Sebastian Fundora height 6'6", oh my God, towering inferno. He does not fight like he towers over anybody. Now, Sebastian Fundora is young enough to add wrinkles to his game. Yes, he's gotten a little bit better, but we haven't seen him in the ring with a guy with the intangibles of footwork and lateral movement like a Keith Thurman that can make you trip your feet. And just very effective off the back foot, power in both hands. Now, this is what this is one thing I did not like about Keith Thurman in today's not a press conference, but the first day of media day, right? I didn't like that he was playing with Sebastian Fundora. You got to keep that same energy with Fundora, Thurman, because, he's been in big fights, but I don't think that the magnitude of promoting a fight, I don't think he's been in that type of magnitude with the type of lingo and the way that Keith Thurman could trash talk could really pinch the nerves or flustered his opponent. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that same energy like you kept it with Danielson Garcia throughout when you first step inside the ring in the post-fight interview after the Brandon Rios fight. You know what I'm saying? You kept that eye of the tiger. You kept that energy leading up to the fight week, leading up to the press conferences and things of that nature. You got to keep that same energy. Sebastian Fundora is not going to be able to go toe-to-toe in terms of promoting the fight and trash talking. So I didn't like that Keith Thurman was playing around, little thing like, nah, keep that same energy. He never been in this level before with a guy like you that know how to trash talk. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman is probably the best self-promoting and talking in trash talking and promoting a fight than any fighter outside of Tyson Fury, to be honest. This guy is very well spoken. He know how to put them words together. He know how to put them punches together. And his record and his experience speak for itself. So Keith Thurman is the type to talk the talk and walk the walk. So when Keith from Tom Thurman talks, his opponent knows that he ain't playing around. His opponent knows that he's not jiving. So Keith Thurman need to keep that same energy. Don't be nice to Sebastian Fundora. You know what I'm saying? Give him something that he never had in his career. Give him the type of energy that he never had to experience in his career. And let me tell you like this, just like they say that boxing is mental, you got to keep that same energy. Don't crack a smile. Don't play around with him. Don't punch him in the rib. Nah. Keep that same energy. Keep from Tom Thurman. That's the only part that I did not like about today, but I love the energy in the interview with Sean Seedle. Shout out to my brother Sean and Cameron and Stat. Shout out to PBC, Tom Brown, Amazon Prime. I think they're taking over 2026. And also shout out to the Zone for re-signing or extending the deal with Golden Boy Promotions, Top Rank, Matchroom Boxing. They all got a deal. Shout out to Sufa. Hopefully they do great in the sport of boxing. I want every entity in the sport of boxing to survive and do well, because the more platforms, the more opportunities, the more fight for us. And I think these are great fights that we get in early in 2026. We did have the Shakur and the Tio. We had the Romana Serrano and Katie Taylor. You know what I'm saying? We even have Clarissa Shields back in the ring and stuff like that. So the women are doing their thing. April 17th, we got also Alicia Baumgartner. Madison Square Garden, the co-main event, we got Shadeja Green. So women boxing is good. MVP, ESPN. I could keep going and going and going, man. There's so much to talk about, baby. The 154-pound division, it's the best in boxing, like I've been saying for years. Subscribe to the channel, baby. We only starting. I'll tell you like this, if you don't know Punch on Boxing, by the end of 2026, you're going to remember this name, baby. Let's go, baby. I'm hype. Fight week, baby. Fight week.